Hi everybody, and welcome back to another video on the Live It Well Nutrition channel. If you're new here, my name is Katie Reitsma and I'm a registered holistic nutritionist. Excuse you. The founder of Live It Well Nutrition and the mama of 2 under 2 right now. Today we will be making almond milk and discussing if it's cheaper to make it yourself and what the benefits might be if you are making it on your own. So, first let's make the milk. And it's really easy to make. You need 1 cup of raw almonds, 4 cups of water, and I'm using a fine strainer and a cheesecloth near the end. But you can also use a nutbag if you prefer. Okay, so what you want to do before anything is to soak your nuts for 8 to 12 hours before you want to blend them. I usually soak them overnight if I know I'm going to be making milk the next day. You may at this point be wondering, why do we need to soak the almonds? And actually, a lot of people don't know this, but nuts, grains, and legumes like beans all have something called phytic acid in them. And phytic acid is basically an anti-nutrient because it's an enzyme inhibitor. Okay, stay with me for a sec, okay? It exists on plants for 2 reasons: to prevent the plant from sprouting prematurely, but also to protect the plant from vegetarian predators, like us. If you don't soak the nuts, then you'll literally be eating phytic acid, in which it will then bind with important minerals like zinc, copper, calcium, and prevent them from being absorbed. This is why phytic acid is called an anti-nutrient, because it will literally rob you of these nutrients. Likewise, it inhibits enzymes. Enzymes are like little proteins that are involved in making anything function within your body. Everything requires enzymes. Breathing, yawning, swallowing, pooping, everything. So by soaking them, you are allowing the hydrogen in the H2O to release those bonds that make up the phytic acid and release those chemicals. Okay, so now that you know it's important to soak your nuts, you then take the cloudy nuts and their water and you strain them. Rinse them really well to make sure they are clean again, and you will also notice that the nuts grew in size a little bit as well. After you've strained them, you have the option to blanch them, which just means taking off the skin, and you can easily do this after they are soaked. They will just pop out of their shell if you pinch them. Go ahead and put the almonds into the blender and add 4 cups of water. Then you'll want to do your blending. I keep my milk plain, but you can also add cinnamon or a splash of vanilla to the mixture if you like. So now you'll have a gritty water, and all you do is cut out some cheesecloth to fit into your mesh strainer. If you'd rather use a nut bag, then this is when you would use it. I put a jug into the sink in case of spilling, and then I take a cheesecloth and place it into the strainer. I pour the gritty milk in just enough so that it doesn't overflow when it's put into the cheesecloth. And then when that's all done, I only have soggy grit left. So I cinch the cheesecloth ends together and squeeze the rest through. This will dry out your grit for making cheese or granola later on and get the most out of your milk. So I've always wondered, but was always too lazy to do the math on if making your own nut milk was cheaper. It was my husband who finally stepped up when he was the one picking up $22 worth of nuts, and he wanted some answers. So he got out our scale, weighed the nuts, did the math, and it turns out that making your own nut milk is not that much more expensive. It depends where you get it, but if this batch makes 1 liter of almond milk, then that means that we spend $4.70 on that 1 liter. Basically like those Tetra Paks that are 946 milliliters. Basically a liter. Depending on the Tetra Pak brand, these are either comparable in price or slightly more expensive. Our milk is slightly more expensive. But I like what we aren't getting when we make our own milk. We aren't getting added chemicals. We aren't getting additives to help the milk last longer on the shelves. We're not getting sugar. The list goes on and on. I also can ensure that the nuts have been soaked if I'm doing them myself, because I can't imagine the likelihood of these big companies and big brands pre-soaking their nuts, because that would cost more money. Okay. That's enough about nut soaking. I hope you found this video interesting and useful, and I also hope I've encouraged you to stick around for more videos. I post on YouTube every Wednesday about nutrition, mom life, and natural living, and every Saturday about my postpartum fitness journey. So I hope to see you there, and in the meantime, live it well, because you only live once. Bye.